Welcome to this episode of You Are Your Name. My name is Garrett Hennigan, and I will be the host for this episode. The information we are sharing with you is based upon the teachings of the Kabalarian Philosophy. This philosophy was founded by Alfred J. Parker in the 1930s in Vancouver, BC, Canada. Today we're going to focus on the question, what happens when we change our names with or without using this principle? When we change our names, our nature and personality will change. And a common thing that many of us have seen is when a woman gets married, many times she will take on the last name of her husband. And it is very well documented that people change after making that particular name change. Now, of course, they don't know of the principle of name and how names affect the person. And so the changes can be sometimes good, but many times bad. And quite often the health weaknesses of the family name that the woman is accepting will have significant effects on their life. So if we don't know what the mathematical principle is of creating balance in a name, changing our name can have various different effects. But when we know what the principle is, and the Kabalarian philosophy has that unique understanding, then it is possible to create a mathematically balanced name so that the name is in harmony with your inner potential as determined from your date of birth. And this is a fundamental concept of the Kabalarian philosophy, is that the balanced name allows more balanced expression, happier, freer, less tension. And all this allows the mind to, in a sense, reflect that beautiful inner potential that comes with that first breath when our life starts. The name is a very compelling and many times emotional influence that takes us into various experiences which may not lead to that ultimate fulfillment in life. So a balanced name, mathematically done through the understanding of the Kabalarian philosophy, can lead to a much more fulfilling life. But the first step is really to get a name report of your current name so you can see what the influences are. And that will be a starting point in your voyage of self-discovery to fulfill your purpose and to lead that happy, fulfilling life that we all really crave. In this episode, we're going to give you a brief summary of the names of Bert, Ed, Les, and Lyle. And our presenter is Dakin Ariel, one of the experienced presenters of the Kabalarian philosophy, who will share some of his thoughts on this particular name combination.
The name of Bert is not a constructive influence to be attached to, for many reasons, yet there are some very fine qualities in the nature of Bert. There are deviations depending upon whether Bert is the original name or whether it is a nickname derived from the names of Herbert, Albert, or Cuthbert, because these names will exert their individual influence and color the nature of Bert. Nevertheless, all Berts show the same fundamental characteristics. This name shows a very ambitious but high-strung temperamental nature, and early in life Bert has a great desire to do something really worthwhile in service to his fellow man. He's a restless and moody type of person, driven by intense desires that he can never satisfy. It seems almost like an inner hunger for something he cannot even define. Consequently, he finds it hard to stabilize his interests, and he starts things that he doesn't finish. He has a very versatile and clever mind, but he is so temperamental and emotionally chaotic, it spoils self-confidence and practicality. He is idealistic, yet the intensity of his nature can create dynamic action if his interest is sufficiently aroused. Unfortunately, the intensity is generally expressed through moods rather than through active, constructive channels. Bert presents a very friendly and refined nature to the public because he has a versatile, analytical mind, and strangers are invariably favorably impressed. If Bert has an inspirational inner nature as measured by his birth date, he often becomes a very excellent musician, and he has a deep appreciation of music and the finer things of life. He wants to be his own boss because he is original and individual in his thoughts and actions. He finds it hard to stabilize his emotions. Consequently, he renders his home a very unfriendly place in which to live. due to his moods of self-pity and intense outbursts of temper. The inability of Bert to find his place in life tends to make him cynical and caustic. His moods are either sky high with optimism or else in the depths of despair. The old remark about getting out of bed on the wrong side certainly applies to Bert, for invariably his moods and temper are worse than the first thing in the morning, probably on account of having to get up and go to work. In good moods, he's the picture of generosity and affection, but when he's upset, he can smash everything in his path, and he rarely apologizes for his misdeeds. Bert is troubled with a sensitive solar plexus, which creates stomach trouble. One of the dangers of this name is the possibility of nervous tension creating a fit or a stroke due to the intensity of emotional outbursts. He must always fight the destructive forces of desire and indulgence, as he can rarely control himself once he does indulge. He's versatile, intellectual, refined, and humanitarian-minded, but is emotionally unstable, usually impractical, and lacking in self-confidence in the business world, being positive in opinion, but passive in action.
It should be noted that everyone who uses one of the names just described will be unique because of their last name and as well their inner purpose as determined from their date of birth. So we would encourage you to visit Kabalarians.com and you will be able to get a free name report and birth date report of all your names and your inner potential. You can also visit youareyourname.com and that will help you out as well.
Whenever you're ready, here are 3 ways we can help you. Number 1, the Balanced Name Recommendation Service. Join the thousands of others who have harmonized their names with their inner potential to improve their health, happiness, and success. Number 2, learn the principles of mental freedom. Participate in our online training program to gain the essential tools to create all the progressive changes you seek in your life. These proven truths will open up new perspectives and accelerate your attainment of health, happiness, and success. Number 3, let Kalex Solutions help you choose a balanced name for your business, because many business names are an impediment to one's overall business success.